this is a kind of a rant video about articulation because I have decided from this point on I am not going to purchase any more Marvel Legends without boot swivel or ankle swivel. Like it like I love posing my figures in an A stance, like a sumo wrestler pose or a huddle, a football player huddle pose. And if you don't have good, boot swivel, like any A stance, the figure goes falling forward. And I think it's so funny that like Shartimus Prime back in the day made this huge push towards getting ankle pivot, ankle pivot, ankle pivot, ankle pivot. And yet I keep watching videos from toy reviewers, and each one of them, there he goes. Like, I wasn't going to buy this Wolverine figure, and then I saw that he has ankle pivot, and I was like, he has a boot swivel, and I was like, all right, there you go. He was preaching for ankle pivot for so fucking long. And here we are, it's almost like a regression that they have removed boot swivel and ankle swivel on their figures. And these are like $50 figures now. Like, it's almost like $40 up to buy these figures. And you'd think they would just give us, a perfect articulation across the board, like all the joints. But they nickel and dime us here and there with the articulation of the figures. Action figures are articulated statues. At the end of the day, they are statues, interactive statues. That's how I describe them. It is the art of interactive statues. And if you are not, you're asking premium prices and you are not delivering premium, articulation, what is the point? That's my attitude. I had the same issue with Transformers for a long time. I did not purchase any Transformer without waist articulation. I feel like waist articulation and wrist articulation add so much depth to the character, and for a long time there was a slew of Transformers with no waist articulation. The thing that pisses me off the most when it comes to like these essential articulation points in comparison to prices is the third-party companies. I'm fucking Boss Fight. I'm calling you out. Like, nobody cares about my videos, but Boss Fight. Where is the ankle articulation and boot swivel in a lot of your figures? I know a lot of them are like, oh, for the aesthetic reasons, if the character is barefoot or the character has, like it breaks up the sculpt. I don't give a fuck. Like seamless sculpting is a part of the process again of toy design, and having seamless, unugly, ungappy joints, it's a part of toy design. Now, mind you, like I personally do not like the Revoltech style like shoulder joints that I see are really popular with that Venom, for example, where it looks like it's just a shell. There's not a full shoulder there. It's just like the lump of the shoulder, and there's like a hollowness underneath it. I personally don't like that, but to each their own. I don't like toe joints. A lot of y'all are preaching for toe joints. I don't know how many of you are obsessed with getting your characters into Spider-Man squats, but God bless you. I personally think it's like, unless you're making your characters all do that mid-step stride thing of walking forward, I feel like dorsiflex, articulation and toe flexing is unnecessary. That's just my opinion. But ankle pivot, ankle swivel, and ankle pivot, these things were very important to toys. And I'm seeing, Beasts of the Kingdom? I bought one of those figures, maybe two, and none of them have that articulation. I've had to replace the full foot with Mystic Legion's feet just so I can get proper articulation out of those stupid designs. And again, because he's like a foot fetishist, so he wants all of his boys barefoot. Fine, that's fine. I'm just not going to buy his fucking toys. You can say what you want about McFarlane. He may be like a business asshole about certain things, and he may have certain issues. But at least with his toy line, his ankle articulation was solid. Thighs, he's a dumb shit when it comes to thighs. He didn't want thigh swivel, but at least his ankle articulation was beautiful. All right, rant over. Thanks for listening. All right, bye.